Hey, all you zealots and zerglings, it's time for another Clash against the Titans on the map Megaton with my brand new beautiful power computer. I just love it so much. I have spawned here as the purple Terran with my usual Titan ally Contrarian as the green Terran. So we're going to be putting up the Terran front, and on the other side of the map, our challengers this time, we've got Spartan as the pink Terran, Cephas as the light gray Terran, and we've got Dunamai as the blue Zerg, and feeling mighty lonely because he is the only one here that is not Terran and nobody wants to be his friend. Get that production tab right there, but there's not going to be much to see right just yet. And just remember, as always with these Clash against the Titans, the challengers are set at an 80% health disadvantage. Although I'm sure with all the losses they keep racking up, they might want to say, you know what, I think we need a bit of a boost. I don't know, maybe they do. We'll have to see. We'll have to see that. I mean, we got a lot of clashes that have yet to been cast, so you know none of that's happening in the near future. But you never know. The game can evolve. When the first Clash games, everyone was at 100% health, but became obvious that, you know, once people learn how to play, and oh, that was almost a block off right there, but no, he's going to slip right out of there after he finishes scouting, and I'm going to drop down that barracks. Looks like I'm attempting to throw down a wall, perhaps. Not entirely sure right there. Of course, Contrarian has the much easier job of walling off the much smaller ramp. But of course, if we can't wall off both ramps, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter how much. I mean, he could put bunkers, barracks, siege tanks, planetary fortresses, missile turrets all around this area, and it doesn't matter because if a single Zergling width gap is just even right here, it's all for naught because they can stream into both of our bases and absolutely destroy everything. Although I am trying to continue that wall off, and we just are now getting the spawning pool here for Dunamai plus the early expand, so we're not going to be seeing any early Zerglings, and I think a marine rush is fairly unlikely because we should be able to counter any number of Marines that can get at us. Most likely, without doing some sort of proxy racks. I don't know if they're going to be able to get enough out here to actually combat us. And what is this barracks doing? It is just floating here saying, look at me, I can fly. And oh, you know what it was? I was going to try to get an add-on, and I didn't quite have the gas for it yet. I think that's what's going on here. And there we go. We're going to drop it down to get that tech lab. I think maybe I was also trying to figure out if I could shift it over here and kind of close this side off, but no, that didn't work, so we're just going to throw down a bunker right there. Finish that side off, but we're going to still need to finish off that side as well. And starting that marine production right there, we see a lot. We see a couple barracks going down, some marines. We got an engineering bay going down for Cephas. And going to throw down another supply depot, but there's still a bit of a gap right here, but we don't have links on the way yet. We do have a Roach Warren going for those beefier units, which is very good when you're 80% health. You want units that can last a little bit longer, and that generally is not Zerglings. But Zerglings can be quite a factor in this game if they cannot be dealt with properly. But he's going to be getting that double gas up pretty early for that, and getting that Baneling's Nest, which will be doing a lot of damage to the Marines, because while his Banelings will be at 80% health, they will be at 100% damage, which means they're still excellent at taking out Marines if you get the detonations that you need. And now he's going to be getting that lair up. Interesting to see if one of these buildings is just an insurance policy, if it really is going to go Roach, Sling, Baneling, which you can do. It's not a more common composition that I've seen, but you can work it out. It just depends on what you're going up against, I think, if that's going to actually work out for you. And it looks like Cephas has finished blocking this off. He is not getting any upgrades on that tech lab yet, but he is going to be getting some Marauder production going there, and that double Marine production off of the other barracks. And this SCV seems to be having a difficult time trying to find his way in, or is he going to be expanding here? He's almost got the money for an expansion right now. Let's see if that's what he's going to do. He's got the money for a command center. Is that going to be dropping out? Yes, he is. He's going to be expanding. Going to send his Marines out there to defend it. There's no imminent attack from the Titans, so this will be an entirely safe move. Engineering bay just about to finish for me. For upgrades or for missile turrets, I'm not entirely sure. It's been a while since I played this game. And Contrarian going to get that factory up. Got the reactor barracks right there and the tech lab barracks right there, so he's also going for that Marine Marauder. And it looks like I've started my combat shield upgrade. Bunkers on both sides here. Probably have finished closing that off. I can't imagine anything could squeeze through there. It looks like they can, but I can't imagine I mispositioned this bunker, and that if I couldn't have shipped it over one hex, I would have. Or maybe I did. I don't know. Some of these wall-offs are really hard to figure out, and that's why probably the pros practice them on the maps they play a lot, because sometimes you need that wall to be just right. The building's got to be perfectly placed, or you've completely wasted your time. Your wall-off will be open, the lanes will run right in, your SCVs are gone, or you lose all that mining time and you lose the game. And we got the starport already come here from Contrarian. I'm just now getting my factor down, so a little bit further behind on the tech. We got Baneling speed coming up here for Dunamai. He does have a couple of Banelings out already, and like I said, they do that full damage, which means they do 35 damage to Marines right now. And if he goes and gets the +1 upgrade, which, well, there's no evolution taper just yet, he is grabbing a couple more gas, which is not a bad idea once you get to lair tech. Although he's building up quite a bit of money, you might want to throw down a macro hatch at this time, and not a spire. It appears he's going to be going for Spire, so he's going to go Roach, Baneling, Mutalisk, maybe? Well, we don't see any Roaches on the field yet. Oh, no, we do have 4 of them being produced right now, and here comes the Evolution Chamber. Maybe biting off a little bit more than he can chew. He almost needs to expand another time to kind of fund all this teching that he's doing right now, and the expensive armies that are going to be following. And a little oversaturated on these minerals. Could probably transfer those down here to finish that off. Or maybe use these to make more buildings, although I think he's got enough buildings going up right now as it is. And we do have a single Marine out here scouting. He's going to probably scout to see if this base is taken yet, but as we do safely have a couple of in-base expansions, which I've only now just taken my second base, these bases are not going to be taken quite as quickly by the Titans as they will by the Challengers, which only have one in-base expansion to share amongst the 3 of them. And it looks like that is only just taken by Spartan. It looks like Dunamai opted to take the more exposed one, although it's a little bit safer. You got to swing back here to get it, and that leaves you vulnerable to anything swinging down this ramp. And that can clean up your attacking force without giving them too much of a chance to escape, unless they can just slip back here and get out of there. And this base, of course, being much more exposed, you really want to hold off on taking that unless you think you can hold it or you don't think your opponents are going to get aggressive. And that sensor tower is going to be over here, going to be watching anything coming up along this side of the map, or, well, basically up the center of the map, unless they, well, no, I don't think they can squeeze back through here. I don't think even a lane could squeeze through there without being seen by the sensor tower, although you'd have to be watching quickly or you're going to miss it. And we do have a small Marine Marauder force from Contrarian pushing out up the north side of the map, or I suppose the east side of the map, east towards the north. However you want to look at that. He's going to be checking this gold expansion because sometimes these things are taken earlier on. And a lot going out for Dunamai. He's got a Glial Reconstitution for that road speed. He's got +1 Mutalisk attack. He's got Zergling speed. He's got Zergling melee upgrades. 4 Corruptors and a Mutalisk on the way. And that Infestation Pit just finishing up. Possibly going for that early Hive tech. Maybe going for fast Broodlords, which he has been known to do on frequent occasions. But we just don't see it. And a very small force here trying to guard both this ramp and this expansion. But so far there's been no aggression from the Titans, so he's still completely safe to do this. Got a couple of factors out, but doesn't look like he's producing any tanks just yet. We're going to have to see if that changes. Going to throw in a couple more supply depots, which could be wise. Well, he's not too bad off, but he's going to be a little bit preemptive, which can be good as Terran, because it takes time to build those things and ties up your SCVs. So, you know, if you can get ahead of that, it's not bad. I mean, Protoss can just throw down a pylon and run away, and Zerg can just, you know, use up some of their larvae to make an Overlord. A little bit more passive on that front, but, you know, again, still takes time to create it. But Terran, they got to use those workers, which is why they got those mules that can make up the mining difference while the SCVs are occupied. And we only have a single Mutalisk out here for Dunamai. I would expect he'd want to get a little bit more of that out, plus 2 Zergling attack coming right now, and he's getting the Ventral Sacks. Perhaps he's going to be doing some drops right there, and another sensor tower is going to go down. It's going to lock down this side of the map. There's not going to be anyone pushing in there that is not going to be seen. And even some insurance missile turrets just to make sure there's not any funny business. Any early air will probably be fended off. Any kind of sneaky DT pushes into the base, because now those bunkers have been salvaged, and so any DTs could be sneaking right in there. Got a tank up there on the front lines though, which can deal a lot of damage to anything trying to hit this wall, plus a lot of Marauders too. And we're continuing the Corruptor production, which implies that he is going to want to go for Broodlord tech, although he does not yet have that Hive coming. So it's a little bit off, but there's no really other reason to get Corruptors. I believe they know that they know that we are both Terran. In fact, they even know that Contrarian has taken this base right here, and they're going to be throwing some production facilities out there, getting another command center, probably to go and try to take this gold right here. But there really seems to be no reason for him to go a lot of Corruptors against Terran, because I mean, if he scouts battle cruiser, yeah, that's the great go-to thing. And you never know with a couple of Terrans, but we don't. If they haven't scouted any battle cruisers, I mean, the corruptors aren't going to be good. I mean, they're good against Vikings, but why is the Terran going to go mass Vikings? It's not really a good offensive strategy. So I'm still assuming he's going Broodlords, but he's just kind of delayed his hive just a little bit, and it looks like he's getting out an extra queen and a little bit of troop movement here. I'm not really sure what's going on right there right now, and a lot of upgrades coming here for Contrarian. He's getting only +1 infantry right now. Seems to be a little late to be getting his 1-1 upgrades as his fat. Let's see, I'm getting +1 vehicle. I believe my infantry is already at 1-1. I probably want to get that 2-2 started right away. I do have the armory somewhere, so I can get that upgraded. We have double armory here for Contrarian. He's going to be upgrading. Gonna really be upgrading those tanks, and he looks like he's gonna be pushing out with another force. Whatever happened to the other force that pushed out? Did that retreat? I didn't actually see that go anywhere. And he's gonna check that gold once again. The gold is not yet taken, and oh, but that overseer is gonna spot those forces moving out. Are they? Yeah, he sees that, and he's gonna move that out of there, and it's gonna be just fine. It's gonna alert them there's something going on here, and a single queen drop. Yeah, they're gonna scan there, and who's gonna be trying to take this space? It looks like Contrarian. He's going to be taking the bold move, trying to take that base, but it looks like being spotted there has kind of angered the troops. Here comes a big Marauder force and some Ling Baneling. Should be more than enough to clean this up. The Marauders will easily take out all of these Marauders, and the Ling Baneling, well, the Baneling will certainly help with those Marines if they can land those hits. But I think Contrarian realizes he's been spotted, so he's going to take the more conservative approach, take this gold base right here. He's already grabbing the first gas guys around that, and hopefully he will be able to defend it. He may want to swing these tanks up higher. And what was that? What did I just see there? Back that up a second. Apparently he accidentally killed one of his own Marines. Not really sure what was going on there, but okay. And it looks like maybe he is going to be, he's like, well, okay, that's enough shooting my own guys. Let's try to advance those tanks a little bit forward. And we have a big Marine force with some Marauders and a few tanks mixed in there, trying to push forward here. He's going to be taking this gold of his own. This is kind of how you want to take it. You want to push out with your army, set up your lines, although you want to get that army a little bit closer. They need to be there to defend those tanks. Maybe even out in front of the tanks a little bit, because that'll allow them to spot for the tanks. Well, I guess he does have the watchtower to spot for the tanks, so that's okay. But he doesn't want this army too far away, because if someone runs in and starts taking out the tanks, there's a lot of his DPS right there, and it's just going to leave this to fend off whatever is remaining, whatever that might be. And it looks like he's going to be getting 3 upgrades for that infantry. It's going to be very powerful infantry. And a +3 attack coming up from Spartan, who we've not really seen much of right now. He's just kind of clustering his forces right here. And it looks like there was an attempt to take this base, and well, no, I think actually Dunmai was just trying to creep it up, trying to prevent the base from being sniped, and that is going to force Spartan to pull out, and he's going to try to retreat, but some of his forces are being left behind, and he needs to get up in position right now. He needs to get back here to the planetary, but he needs to get those tanks sieged. The tanks do not siege. He really needs those tanks sieged. It would really help against those Zerglings. And here come the Banelings. It's going to take out a few Marines, but the rest of this force should be able to take this out. The tanks are going to deal a lot of damage, but I don't think it's going to be enough because there's still a lot of Marauders left. And, well, no, they're going to pull back. They could have finished that off. A lot of Marauders should have been able to blast away at these tanks, although getting close to that planetary might have been a little bit tricky, but I think they would have been okay. But want to be a little bit conservative. They don't want to push their advantage too much and lose their army. And, oh, Bocephus is going to be sitting here and sniping this gold, but he really needs to advance his force. If he's going to do this, he either needs to build his command center back here and then move it forward, or he needs to move his army forward to this position so he can actually guard it. Because his army back here is just as powerful as his army here, only this time it covers this space. And it looks like he did hear me. He's going to move those tanks forward, but he has to move this Marine Marauder with it. The tanks by themselves could easily be countered. I could get out my own tanks, which looks like I am pushing out a little bit myself. Have taken this base out here, but I probably could have used to expand again. I got a ton of minerals right now. I probably need to throw down some more production. Let's see, I got 4 barracks here. Do I got any more barracks? Looks like I just got 4 barracks. I definitely need to get more production facilities up right now. Only 1 factory, 4 barracks is not nearly enough. Trying to get quad. Oh, looks like I'm getting some Viking production. Not sure where this is for. Maybe I'm expecting those Broodlords. And here he goes. Here comes that Greater Spire. The Hive Tech has been completed. Adrenal Glands coming, +3 attack on those Zerglings. And looks like he's getting another Evo Chamber, which is actually pointless right now. He's already starting the +3 attack. I guess he can start the next armor upgrade before this finishes. And it looks like he's gotten some eyes on my army. He can't quite see my tanks. And a quick scan there is going to allow me to snipe one tank, which is going to take out the immediate freight. He's going to try to move forward and a scan, but the scan's not going to reveal anything else to his tanks because the one tank that could actually shoot up here was destroyed with my scan. And trying to sweep a medevac forward, see if I can get some vision. Got to be careful though, because if this guy's stim forward, no stim. I do have stim, they do not, and we're both trying to jockey for position right now. It looks like he has the superior force. He has a lot bigger army and a lot more tanks. And how are those tanks upgraded? The upgrades on the tanks are the same, but his infantry is infinitely better than mine. And meanwhile, we've got Contrarian pushing forward with a rather large Thor force with 2-2 upgrades, and his Marines are also at 2-2, but this base has not been taken yet, and there's some Brood Lords there, and we gotta careful. Oh, it looks like, I've gotten a little bit of my units out of position right here. We gotta watch both sides right here right now. And it looks like Baneleys are gonna take out a lot of that, but there's still a lot of Thors here, but with the Brood Lords there, the Thors, I'm afraid, may not last very long. His preppers aren't going to be very good right now. And it looks like Bosiva's trying to get position on this tank. That tank is within vision range of mine and is going to be taken out. The Vikings are providing just enough vision to be able to see that tank, so he cannot fire back at mine. And it looks like these Thors are he's trying to mass repair that, but the Thors just are not quite good enough against the Brood Lords. Brood Lords are just a little bit better, even though they are equal in range. I believe they both have range 9.5. Well, the paint line for 0.5 for the Brood Lords. I'm not sure about the Thors. And there are none on the field over here for me to check. So we're just jockeying position right here. This is kind of like a Terran stalemate. But that's what these Vikings are for. The Vikings are trying to provide me with some vision so I can get an advantage on his tanks. But it looks like I don't quite have my tanks in position for that. I might be able to swing this one forward just close enough. I mean, this is as far as he can get. If I can get a couple of tanks... Oh, no, he does have vision. I think the Watchtower is going to help him a lot in this situation. And the scan there is not going to help right now, and yeah, I got to be very, very careful. How far does his vision go? Actually, he can. Well, actually, he's not vision. The Watchtower is not giving him quite as much vision as I would hope. But we do have the Brood Lords pushing out to this side of the map. There's only 4 of them. Remember, I do have some Vikings, and I think I scanned up there. He got in range of the Watchtower is what happened right there, which allowed me to spot these Brood Lords coming in. A quick scan, or maybe I just sent my Vikings over there, and he's going to go right now, but I am sieged up. I don't know if this is a good idea. I need to get this tank sieged as well, and he's going to swing in and take out my siege tanks. I should have moved my infantry forward to take that out, which probably would have been the right choice there and let the tank deal the damage, but instead all the tanks have been taken out, and it looks like he's going to get his tank sieged up, and I've got none left right now, but the Brood Lords, actually, there's still quite a few Brood Lords here right now, and that is going to clean me up. And do we have enough? I gotta evacuate the Vikings, but this could be in big trouble right now. I don't really have an army right now. 66 supply, and a lot of that has got to be in SCVs right now. And I already realized this expansion is going to go down, so I try to run those SCVs away. I try to run the command center away. It looks like Contrarian's trying to run back with his Thor army. And where's that Javelin missiles? Range 10. So actually, Thors do outrange Brood Lords by half a range. But, you know, the DPS is really pitiful, and he's going to be here just in time to try to hold this off. Those are going to sweep in there and do a lot of upfront damage. And here come the Brood Lords. I do have the Vikings, but he does have a couple of Corruptions to take it out. I'm going to have to try to take those on first, and he's going to use that Corruption ability and take that out. So the Vikings are gone, and I did not have very good production there. And I'm trying to get out some more Vikings to take on those Brood Lords. The Thors will hopefully last for a little while because there's very little upgrades on these Brood Lords right now. And the tanks are going to siege up, which are going to do a lot of damage because the Thors are all clustered up. But will the Thors be able to power through it? He's got +2 attack on there right now, but it's against 3/3 Thors. And he did manage to clean that up. I don't know how, but the Brood Lords are still alive. They could still do a lot of damage to these Thors, but they're just kind of sitting back here right now. Meanwhile, Spartan's going to be pushing in with his force. He's going to try to take on that planetary. There's going to be a mass repair, but I don't think it's going to be enough. No, all it did was just temporarily stall that. The SCVs are going to try to get out of there. And he's throwing down a lot of production. Unfortunately, this army could really just take it out right now. I don't know why they're not sweeping in there. And the Brood Lords are going to kind of creep away. I'm not really sure why. There's not really much anti-air here except these Thors, which are very, very softened up. 2 of them are just moments away from death. And it looks like the Lings are going to push in here and start doing damage here. Spartan's got to push forward. He can destroy all these buildings. Yeah, he's going to cancel all those because there's no way they're going to finish and be any good whatsoever. And here's one Thor. We're going to need a little bit more than that. And this base has gone uncontested. It looks like Bosiva's has bolstered another army. He's going to be trying to take up position right here once again while we are busy up here in the north. And we're going to bring down a bunch of mules to try to help mass repair, but yeah, I guess their numbers are thinning a little bit, but still, it's only 4 Thors. They might, I don't know, they might have been able to take that out even with the mass repair. I don't know. Oh, but these Thors right here would have helped push that back. So it's got to just be oh, but these Thors are going to walk right into this tank line. I don't know if that was a good idea, and these reinforcements should be able to finish that up just fine. Oh, he's going to march more Thors in there. I don't think that is a good idea. Right now, this seems to have been a game of defense where we haven't pushed forward that much. I mean, Contrarian tried to push out a little bit, but most of the time they've been getting aggressive, and we're just trying to hold the line right now. We kind of failed over here. I managed to lose that expansion, which I need to be retaking that right now because I'm going to have to get my economy back up if I'm going to kind of rebuild anything. I mean, what am I doing right now? Building 5 reactors. It looks like, oh, I'm just throwing down a ton of barracks to try to get my army back up, basically. While Contrarian is trying his best to hold this north. He's got the mules mass repairing, but they are all just about to die. And, well, the Thor's got a little bit more protected. Oh, there's one tank there, and so we've kind of broken this Thor right here. This base has just gotten up, but I think he's gonna, oh no, he is gonna turn and try to take on this base. These spine crawlers though are not gonna finish in time. The Thor should be able to burn all of this down pretty quickly, and these Brulers have been sitting here doing nothing all this time. I mean, if they're gonna sit in this part of the map, they either need to push forward and try to do some damage, or just retreat back to where they're needed. Or I mean, I guess they could sit back here and help defend. They'd be great at defending this army right now. There's no way I could put up a siege line against it, but right now I'm not. I mean, okay, looks like I've also switched to Thors right now. Not very good upgrades on those, and only 2-2 on my infantry right now. Trying to get +2 attack on those Thors. 17 Marines coming out at a time. And Contrarian's going to take this forward position with a very, very small force. I was about to say, if he's going to stay there, he needs to take the watchtower, but he's going to retreat right back. I think this force could probably clean that up. So he's going to pull back. A lot of barracks up here, a lot more Thors. He's really pumping out those Thors, which is impressive because he doesn't have that big a base. But it looks like I'm just trying to reestablish the base, and here comes the attack. A bunch of Marine tank. I got nothing against this. 2-2 on those tanks. Is he working on any other upgrades? Yeah, he's getting +3 on those tanks. And it's going to push me back again, and I don't have enough yet. I mean, I've got a couple of Thors and a handful of Marines, but against this many tanks and all those upgrades, I don't think it's going to be enough. And then here come the Brulers back if I manage to get any Vikings, but a lot of Thors coming right here. And actually, I do have a few Vikings, which should be able to clean up these Broodlords as soon as I get wind of it. Yeah, here we come, but he does still have some corruptors defending that. Is that going to be enough? But he's got to be careful because the Thors are going to like to take a piece out of those corruptors if you're not careful. And it looks like the Thors are going to go down. I'm trying to stream in a few more Marines, but we are definitely losing the battle here. There's still a lot of tanks, and we don't have anything to take them out right now. And trying to snipe those Overlords, I don't know what they're doing there. And I don't think he's got enough Corruptors right here. What kind of upgrades those Corruptors have? +2 on those Corruptors, only +1 on the Vikings, but they do get the bonus damage against the Corruptors. And oh, those Corruptors are going to go down, and that's going to leave the Broodlords a bit vulnerable, and the tanks can't do anything about it. So if we can just deal with these tanks, I think we could be okay. But meanwhile, we got Lings over here, and oh, and Contrarian, I think, has realized that we just don't have it right now. We don't have enough units to defend this right now. We can't get enough to stop these forces, and it was just too much for us. Just too much. The Lings are tearing apart his base. And I must have the caps on, or I'm really excited that they won. So it looks like the challengers are going to take a game, but I hope you enjoy this game, and have a day.